Hello, everybody. This is Julissa. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to the channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. Today is Tuesday, May 19, 2026. I'm going to talk to you guys about the crazy story of the woman who fell down a manhole, a sinkhole, I guess you can call it, in New York City. And this happened over this weekend. And she did lose her life. And that is, to me, is crazy that there was no protection there, meaning that it was uncovered. And just your life, but I tell you all the time, your life changes at any moment. One day she's just driving New York City, parks her car, she gets out of her car and goes, plunges down 10 to 15 feet, they say, because there was a sinkhole there that was open. And unfortunately, like I said, she lost her life. That to me is crazy. Before I continue, thank you so much, everybody who's choosing Spotify to listen to this podcast. Don't forget to follow me there. That way, every time I make a new episode, you will get a notification. And also, you'll be able to rate the podcast too, or using Spotify. It helps me as a creator. And of course, thank you guys so much who is watching. Everybody who's watching this video right now on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. So, there's so many things to watch out for. And I was just in New York too last week, and normally I would take the train and everything, but this time I decided to drive. And I remember driving through Madison Avenue, excuse me. And I remember thinking to myself, why is the street so bad? One thing is for them to be doing construction, but it was just really remote. It was very crazy the way there's like a whole stretch of Madison Avenue. I don't know how it is now, but I remember thinking if I would have known the Madison Avenue was like this, I would have never driven through here. And it was just very dangerous. You're trying to avoid so much, right? And then it's New York, so you have cars all over the place. And then the story of this woman is just so very shocking, and it's so very sad. They say they heard her screaming, "I am dying." So it's so very sad. People are saying, how can she not see that? It's New York City, you have so much distraction there, especially, and when you're driving down the road, right? In a very it's a very modern city. You don't, if there's an issue with the road, or there's like a sinkhole, you expect some type of warning sign to be there, a big warning sign, like a big, tape out section of it. So I don't like when people are, reading some of the comments, people are commenting things like, oh yeah, she never saw that. Are you serious? You think that was intentionally? So let me read to you guys. And I should have given you a trigger warning, because what I'm gonna read to you guys is very sensitive, could be very sensitive to a lot of people. A 56-year-old woman who plunged to her death after stepping out of her vehicle into an open manhole in Midtown Manhattan has been identified. And her name was Donike Gocaj of Briarcliff Manor in Westchester County. She Gosha, who also spells her name as Donike, had a son and a daughter and two grandchildren. On her Facebook page, she shows her celebrating holidays, weddings, and birthday, right? And the New York Police Department said that they were called to the scene on Fifth Avenue around 11:19 local time on Monday, May 18. So it was just yesterday. So imagine that. It also happened during the nighttime. At 11:19 p.m., okay, she fell 10 feet into an open Con Edison manhole after stepping out of her vehicle, a parked SUV. After she parked her SUV, excuse me. A witness who was heading to work at that time of the incident said that she took one step forward and she just disappeared. Okay, she was screaming and dying, and that's what I kept hearing, her screaming over and over, said the witness who spoke to the press. She wasn't distracted. She didn't walk onto a construction site. I mean, she's parked she parked there her car, stepped out of the car, and dropped right into a manhole. So imagine the nightmare, right? Um, Imagine the nightmare. And now that I'm thinking, there was another video that became viral too a couple days ago. It was about another car. Another car. I don't know if this happened in New Jersey, but it was a man just driving down the highway, and out of nowhere there was a whole sinkhole that opened, and half his car was basically buried in that. So she's in New York, driving in New York City at night on a Monday night, which normally wouldn't be that busy, right? Especially at 11, past 11 p.m. Obviously, depending the area, but past 11 p.m., she parks her car, step out of the car, and just drops 10 feet and loses her life. This is how quickly your life can change. And it's crazy, like I said in the beginning, for people to assume that how can she not see something like, I mean, she parked her car. You really think if she saw a huge hole or an open area, she's gonna be like, "Oh, this is where I'm gonna park right now," right? Yeah, of course. She never saw any of that, right? So they're saying it was a Con Edison, the electric company there, Con Edison, um, made manhole that where she fell. So I wonder what they have to say about all of this. So let me just continue to read here. She was rushed to the New York Presbyterian Medical Center where she was pronounced dead. So they are confirming that manhole where she fell into belongs to Con Edison. In a statement, the company said it is continuing to investigate how that tragic incident had occurred. We have reviewed video footage from the area. We suggest that the cover was dislodged after a multiple axle truck turning on 52nd Street from Fifth Avenue drove over it. Okay, so now they're saying it was a truck that past by it before she even got there and moved the cover. Like, how is it possible for a truck to do that, right? If you are a company like Con Edison, right, and this is your line of work, you better make sure if you're gonna have a sinkhole like that can swallow up somebody and drop them 10 feet on the ground, you better make sure that cover doesn't get moved without proper personnel, right? Especially when you're making a sit on a busy street like in New York City street, right? Regardless of what time, you better make sure that doesn't move, right? So it's not gonna be like, well, yeah, it was the truck. It was the truck that that we put the cover. It was the truck that removed it. No, you better make sure that doesn't move at all, right? Make sure you use the proper thing for that. So after approximately 12 minutes later, the person involved in the incident parked her car nearby. Connery's statement continued, "We are reviewing the details and while this is a rare occurrence, manhole covers can get displaced by heavy vehicles. Our thoughts remain with her family and safety remains our top priority." So they saying that after 12 minutes when they see the truck pass by, the person involved in the incident parked her car nearby. So, or maybe they're saying she parked 12 minutes after the cover was removed. I'm a little confused now here, but it's a very unfortunate situation. It's a tragic thing. I don't like when people call it a freak accident because I don't know. I picture freak accident things like, oh, somebody got their hand stuck in the washing machine or something like that, right? But this is definitely some type of negligence, right? That happened here. Some type of negligence, some type of, oh, we have a whole sinkhole open here. We gotta go. It's the end of the day. Let's just cover it quickly. No, nothing's gonna happen. We'll come back in the morning and work on it. That's what I'm thinking happened here. So that's probably maybe they were not expecting to have so many trucks, heavy trucks pass by. And when you're trying to rush at work, right, you miss things like this and then you get accidents, right, that happen. It's a tragic thing that happened to her. So I wonder, Excuse me, I'm just searching here quickly. I wonder, like, I wonder if they're ever gonna release that video. I know it's gonna be very hard for the family. There's photos of her with her family, her son and her daughter. And also, I learned that she was recently married. So I'm sure this is so tragic for the whole, for her whole family, for her to, and she's also a grandmother, for her to go through something like this. And probably they were expecting her to return home. So it's just very sad all around. Let me continue to read here. The What's this here? The open corner maintenance hole was just feet away from the SUV door. Um, he said he sprinted over and called the police after he heard her screaming for her from the bottom of that sinkhole. He said she had haunting screams and had stopped by the time her haunting screams stopped by the time the fire department got there. And they arrived minutes later, it says here. They pulled her unconscious, unresponsive body from the hole and rushed her to the New York hospital, where she was later pronounced dead. So how terrifying. Some people say, some witnesses say that she said, oh, I'm dying. And she started, she was screaming. Um, so, I'm just trying to continue to see if I can get more information about this case. And the same thing, Con Edison say there was a large truck that passed by on 52nd Street and 5th Avenue, and that's what happened. The truck removed the cover. Now, that's just, they shouldn't even release that, because it's saying, oh yeah, we put a cover, but cars are gonna pass by and they're gonna remove it. So, like, I'm not trying to say that they're careless, but continue the full investigation before you even say that, because now they're going to say what type of covers you have protecting people, right? Because people are going to cross the street, not necessarily driving, right? So any heavy trucks as expected in a busy street, especially like New York, if you tell me any heavy vehicle can remove it, then you're using the wrong type of cover, obviously, right? So let me know, guys, what you think about this. Let me see if we can read some of the comments. I know people are very surprised by this, because some people were saying, there's a lot of things you need to watch out when you're parking in New York, when you're in New York City, I mean to say. So now you have to watch out for all of this now. Oh, it's a cover, but remember, when you're on the sidewalk in New York and you see the big metal pieces that they put, and you're like, oh, I can walk right over. Nothing's gonna happen. And then you see people avoiding it, and you're like, why are they? I mean, well, if they live here, let me just follow what they do, because, and I don't mean to be laughing, because what I'm speaking is very sensitive, but now you really not, you just need to just avoid it. Try to walk on the other side, maybe, or it's usually doesn't cover the whole space, so try to walk on the space that's not covered by it. And you see so many of those things, right? If you walk in New York City, you see so many of those giant metal pieces covering the sidewalk, and you always assume they're all safe, right? We always assume they're safe, but now they're saying they can be removed. The ones on the street, they can be removed by a large vehicle. What? Are you serious? What? Work harder on using covers that don't get removed. Like, are you serious? So if somebody says here, it just keeps getting weirder and sadder. Why did she park there, and why didn't she see the hole to cover if it was on the street? Hopefully the surveillance video will answer the question. I mean, guys, obviously she didn't see it. Obviously she didn't see it. She would, people are not. She's not gonna park there. There was a manhole right there. It's just common sense. She didn't see it. So somebody said absolutely heartbreaking. May she rest in peace. So Yeah, it's very sad. We keep the family in our prayers. Let me know, guys, what you think about this in the comments. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to the channel and everybody who's listening to the podcast. Have a good day. God bless. Hi, everybody. This is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.